After being militarily occupied by Italy, from 1939 until 1943 the Albanian Kingdom was a protectorate and a dependency of Italy governed by the Italian King Victor Emmanuel III and his government. After the Axis invasion of Yugoslavia in April 1941, territories of Yugoslavia with substantial Albanian population were annexed to Albania, most of Kosovo, as well as Western Macedonia, the town of Tutin in Central Serbia and a strip of Eastern Montenegro. After the capitulation of Italy in 1943, Germany occupied Albania too. The nationalist Balli Kombetar, which had fought against Italy, formed a neutral government in Tirana, and side by side with the Germans fought against the communist-led National Liberation Movement of Albania. By the end of World War II, the main military and political force in the country, the Communist Party, sent forces to northern Albania against the nationalists to eliminate its rivals. They faced open resistance in Nikaj-Mertur, Dukagjin and Kelmend. Kelmendi was led by Prek Cali. On January 15, 1945, a clash took place between partisans of the 1st Brigade and nationalist forces at the Tamara Bridge, resulting in the defeat of the nationalist forces. About 150 Kelmendi people were killed or tortured. This event was the starting point of many other issues which took place during Enver Hoxha's dictatorship. Class struggle was strictly applied, human freedom and human rights were denied. Kelmend region was isolated both by the border and by lack of roads for another 20 years. The institution of agricultural cooperative brought about economic decline. Many Kelmendi people fled, some were executed trying to cross the border. After the liberation of Albania from occupation, the country became a communist state, the People's Republic of Albania, renamed the People's Socialist Republic of Albania in 1976, which was led by Enver Hoxha and the Labour Party of Albania. The socialist reconstruction of Albania was launched immediately after the annulling of the monarchy and the establishment of a People's Republic. In 1947, Albania's first railway line was completed, with the second completed 8 months later. New land reform laws were passed granting the land to the workers and peasants who tilled it. Agriculture became cooperative, and production increased significantly, leading to Albania's becoming agriculturally self-sufficient. By 1955, illiteracy was eliminated among Albania's adult population. During this period Albania became industrialized and saw rapid economic growth, as well as unprecedented progress in the areas of education and health. The average annual rate of Albania's national income was 29% higher than the world average and 56% higher than the European average. Albania's communist constitution did not allow taxes on individuals, instead, taxes were imposed on cooperatives and other organizations, with much the same effect. Religious freedoms were severely curtailed during the communist period, with all forms of worship being outlawed. In August 1945, the agrarian reform law meant that large swaths of property owned by religious groups, mostly Islamic waqfs, were nationalized, along with the estates of monasteries and dioceses. Many believers, with the ulama, and many priests were arrested, tortured, and executed. In 1949, a new decree on religious communities required that all their activities be sanctioned by the state alone. In 1967 Hoxha proclaimed Albania the world's first atheist state. Hundreds of mosques and dozens of Islamic libraries containing priceless manuscripts were destroyed. Churches were not spared either, and many were converted into cultural centers for young people. The new law banned all fascist, religious, warmongerish, anti-socialist activity and propaganda. Preaching religion carried a 3 to 10 years prison sentence. Nonetheless, many Albanians continued to practice their belief secretly. Post-communist Albania. After protests beginning in 1989 and reforms made by the communist government in 1990, the People's Republic was dissolved in 1991–92 and the Republic of Albania was founded. The Communists retained a stronghold in parliament after popular support in the elections of 1991. However, in March 1992, amid liberalization policies resulting in economic collapse and social unrest, a new front led by the New Democratic Party took power. In the following years, much of the accumulated wealth of the country was invested in a number of Ponzi pyramid banking schemes, which were widely supported by government officials. The schemes swept up somewhere between 1/6 to 1/3 of the country's population. Despite IMF warnings in late 1996, then-President Balli Kombetar defended the schemes as large investment firms, leading more people to redirect their remittances and sell their homes and cattle for cash to deposit in the schemes. The schemes began to collapse in late 1996, leading many of the investors into initially peaceful protests against the government, requesting their money back. The protests turned violent in February as government forces responded with fire, and in March the police and Republican Guard deserted, leaving their armories open. They were promptly emptied by a number of militias and criminal gangs. The resulting anarchy caused a wave of evacuations of foreign nationals, and of refugees. The crisis led Prime Minister Alexander Miksi to resign on March 11, 1997, followed by President Balli Kombetar in July in the wake of the June general election. In April 1997, Operation Alba, a UN peacekeeping force led by Italy, entered the country with two goals: assistance in evacuation of expatriates, and to secure the ground for international organizations. This was primarily WEUMAP, who worked with the government in restructuring the judicial system and police. The Socialist Party won the elections in 1997, and a degree of political stabilization followed. In 1999, the country was affected by the Kosovo War, when a great number of Albanians from Kosovo found refuge in Albania. Post-Reconstruction Albania. Albania became a full member of NATO in 2009, and has applied to join the European Union. In 2013, the Socialist Party won the national elections. In June 2014, the Republic of Albania became an official candidate for accession to the European Union.